Hello to everyone, this is Guenther Steiner, this is Speed City.
Welcome back to the fastest hour in radio, Speed City.
Okay, gearheads, we're at Circuit of the Americas in the Haas Hospitality across from the man. Guenther, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
When did you get in?
I got in last night, but I was in Dallas the last 2 days with Moneygram. We had a few things to do. They did some activations there for their people, for their employees. So I was up in Dallas for 2 days, but came back last night, or came down here last night.
Well, I thought I'd surprise you and bring your old buddy Dave O'Neill into the show today. And when you walked in, you gave him a big hug.
Hug.
If you recall the hug word, I made sure I pronounced it properly. But Dave, was it good to see your old buddy?
Yeah, always. Yeah, it's great. You know, walking up and down the pit lane, seeing old friends, work acquaintances. But again, you know, working with Guenther back in 2014, 15 when we started. You know, there was only 3 or 4 of us in the office, and he'd buzz around the world and drop in every 2 weeks and ask what was going on and ask a bit more why it wasn't done, and and then we kind of ended up where we were. But yeah, it's great to come back and see old friends. Yeah.
Well, Guenther, we're excited to have you guys back, of course, and a lot of American fans. We get a lot of callers on the show excited to talk about the Haas team, and this year in particular with the big upgrade that you guys are bringing. What can you tell us about it?
Oh, but I can tell you how we got here, that we bring a big upgrade this late in the season. Obviously, our concept of the car was a little bit different than some of the winning cars, and we tried to find performance in the beginning of the years and couldn't find anything, or very little. You always find something, but it wasn't worthwhile to make upgrades or nothing. And at some stage, we just had to make the decision. We changed concept for next year. It was first step was for 24. We need to go a different direction. And then somehow it came up the idea, okay, what could we do this year to make the car maybe better, but at least go in the direction we're going next year to learn about it. And then everybody pulled together and we made it happen. We made quite a big upgrade. We just decided before the shutdown in summer what we are going to do. We had to do wind tunnel testing and then the production, and everybody pulled their socks up and got it done, and we did a good job. And again, Dave helped us a little bit out here because in the meantime he's our man to go to in Austin. He's a little bit of wheeler and dealer, as you all know, so anything wheeling and dealing, just go to Dave. I don't know what his company is called, but a little bit of publicity. But no, he helped out quite a bit because a few guys came in early on Saturday because we got the cars on Sunday, so we went to a workshop outside of the racetrack because you cannot come in. The racetrack, the garages are not ready, so we went to his place, did all the parts, the more difficult job with bonding the parts on, and then brought up the cars on Tuesday here. So we are ready to go. The guys are excited with the big upgrade, but the expectation for the upgrades we don't really know. But because we also have got very little time to test it. It's only an hour of practice because it's a sprint weekend, so very difficult. But sometimes everybody's excited. At least we do something. We know where we are. We are not going anywhere. We do something and try to go the right direction. So to bring these things is at this late in the season is never right because people, we cannot do it in Austin because it's a sprint weekend, or we cannot do it in Mexico because of the altitude is very different there. Or then in the end, at some stage we need to do something and just bite the bullet and do something. The worst thing is not to do anything.
Indeed.
That's the first customer for Dave.
Where was it? I was going to say the predictability of upgrades a couple of years ago when y'all first started, all the downforce coming from underneath the car. Now that you've had some time under your belt, is it a little maybe more predictable that an upgrade would be, a little more science and then more predictable results, or not?
No, with the new regulation, actually, it went the wrong way, because what you see in the wind tunnel is not always what you see on the race car. With the ground effect cars, which came in last year with the new regulation, very difficult. So the predictability, that is because our old concept, what we found in the wind tunnel was not the performance we saw in the on the racetrack. It was less on the racetrack, So if we just get that delta up a little bit or better, we should be in a good place. But we don't know until we try it. So that was one of the reasons why we made actually the real car to see what it does on the track. So next year, when in February we go out with the testing of the new car we at least know which direction it is going, and we are not completely surprised.
And is this a bit of a preview of the 24 car?
The direction, yes. The final design, no. The concept is a preview. It is no secret that everybody's going that direction. But how the car will look like, the next year's car will be more extreme because this year we couldn't do all of it because otherwise we'd have need to make a change to the chassis, and that was just time-wise not possible.
Well, I think one of the things to be interesting is, with the tyre selection that we had, I guess you had to make earlier on in the year, and now the temperatures for this weekend and the upgrade is like, how do you go around factoring how to conquer that kind of quest with a sprint race and then having a limited amount of time on the tyres with the higher temperatures? It's quite complicated, really, and of course nothing you can really prepare for, I guess.
Absolutely, Dave. I mean, the challenge is big, It's a lot of unknowns, and there will be still unknowns after the 1 hour of testing because, as you say, you cannot do a proper long run, and for sure you cannot test 3 different tires, because you haven't got the time and you haven't got the tires. So it's a little bit of guessing involved as well, but we have got good data of the tires at high temperatures from other trucks. But this year again, it was always the tire didn't always do what we expected them to do. So, but at some stage we get lucky and get the right choice. So.
Well, look, it is going to be hot, and I don't think it's going to be Qatar hot with the humidity. But that, I'm sure it's going to be a challenge for everybody. But anything in particular you guys do on a hot weekend like this?
No, as you say, we come back from Qatar where it was really hot and more challenging because it was also humid. The race was something unbelievable. I mean, I didn't expect it when I got out of the plane. When I got there, I was like, wow, I didn't expect this one in the desert, this humidity. But I think he has a bit more controlled the heat. I call it a good heat. There's a good and a bad heat. The bad heat is the humid one, and the good one. And as soon as the sun goes down, it gets a little bit cooler. But we just have to work and try to get the best out of it. But nothing. I don't know anybody who can change the heat, so we have to live with it.
Yeah, if you figure that one out, let us all know. Maybe Dave. He's got a guy. Last question for you. I'm looking at your shirt with the Moneygram logo, and from the moment I saw you guys on stage here a year ago, I was like, this is going to be a good relationship. Moneygram is a big American company that a lot of people don't know about. They need a sexy sport like F1 and a sexy guy like Guenther to talk about their product, but it feels like there's some stability. You've got the drivers wrapped up for next year. You're working on upgrades. I mean, it feels like a maturity in the Haas team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We made a big step last year with Moneygram coming on board. As I say, it's not only an American company, it's a Texan company. We were, the drivers and myself were with them yesterday, the whole day. We did events in Dallas. They're based in Dallas, their headquarters is. And they are a very good partner. And as you say, they are very good partners because they understand what we are doing. They are not, obviously, we all want to do better than we are, but they are not putting the big pressure onto it. They are not, so they know that we are working hard. They're respecting us, but it seems like what they wanted to do is working to get their name out in the world with Formula One. It's the biggest global sport. It's a racing. It's on all year long. So I think in the moment they are very happy with being in Formula One and being with Haas F1.
Guenther Steiner, thank you so much. Fantastic to see you. I wish you best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Thank you.